Hello. Baguette. I'm just eating. Yummy, yummy quinoa salad. How is everybody? It's not the washing machine. It's a dishwasher. You're journaling. You're gonna finish it? Okay. Yes, I did. It was very hard. Especially because it was hot. And heavy. Boom, boom. Oh, you're doing journaling for your Japan trip as well? I didn't know, Stellan. Pop. I pop. Phew. Yeah. There's just one problem. I don't know how to install the dishwasher. There's a small hole in the back of the cabinet to put the evacuation tube, and it is too small. Why not just make like an album, a photo album? I mean, that's kind of what Luna's doing, but with more steps. Oh, you're doing both. Okay. Wow. I've never done a full photo journal. I've never done a journal at all. Why would Lunk have Alzheimer's? Because we forget? Oh, okay. So Steral and Lunk Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's correlated with? Oh. Eating transformed meat is correlated with Alzheimer's. Stop eating your saucisson. Stop eating your ham. Stop eating your chorizo. Your pancetta. All the Italian deli meats. Stop eating the prosciutto. Stop eating the guanciale. Stop eating the soppressata. What else is there? Salami. No more salami. No more copa. What else is there? Is that all of them? What's the one with the mortadelle? No more mortadelle. Anyway. I want to see Luna also. Today was a tough day. Give me cheese. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Oh, it's cute. You have to keep it safe. I'm not gonna say, but why is there a Dragon Ball on your journal? Are you a big Dragon Ball fan? I know it's not supposed to be a Dragon Ball, but that's all I can see. I'm super hydrated now. What you gonna do? Oh, so anyway, I've got my dishwasher, and I bought my wood for making my furniture. God, that word was escaping me. So next weekend we have atelier furniture. Hopefully. I'll be making some drawings and I'll show you what I intend to do. Anyway, the van I. It's a papaya. Looks like a Dragon Ball. Papaya was always a Dragon Ball. But I see it's a papaya with seeds now. Now that you say it. Man, I wish there was more papaya available in Europe. I love papaya. Papaya is so yummy when it's nice. Papaya, hibiscus, coconut, perlito. Lots of good stuff. I close. I'm gonna do my daily geoguesser. It's so Tahiti coated. Are hibiscus flowers Tahiti coated? Oh, they kind of are. That's cool. They don't originate from there, but they grow so well that they do now. I love his hibiscus flowers. They're one of the prettiest flowers in my opinion. I can see you're excited. When's the deadline? When's the deadline? I do some small geoguessing. While we chill. We do no move challenge. This could be France. No, it could not be France. Mimi promet. Just doing stuff chill. That's good. Will you be able to chill with us this year at the convention or no? I've nearly finished eating. Wait, what? I have like 6 authors, so I will die. Oh no. Man, that sucks. I guess we'll be your support. Dinner is finished. That was bad. Do another one. Velja Arvatud. Is this? The roads look so good, it could be the Netherlands. No. Somewhere near Karla. Kurla. Where's Kurla? Maybe more Polish. Kind of sucks that you have to work that much for that event, I think. I think it's exploitation. Kurisare. Kihilkuna. I don't know either of those. Let's go right. Oh, wait a minute. Am I dumb? No, I'm not dumb. Matterjo. Don't know, I don't know. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna really suck this year. I don't mean to be mean, but I'm sure you've heard there's a big weather thing. It's gonna be deadly. I don't know how people are gonna survive. If it's gonna be 45 degrees, brother. That was close. It was here. I should know that. This is seems Mexico. Estación de servicio Huachacala. Huachacala. It's definitely some Mexican stuff. Sorry, I switched on my phone. I haven't heard you. Yeah, I was saying it's gonna be crazy if it's 45 degrees. 45 degrees, bro. I'm gonna die. Even the people who work, like, I don't know what you're gonna do. What? Kakala. Sabaya Pisaga. Chihuahua. Or Chacala. Coahuila. Florida. I don't know. But if I die totally, malaise vacances? What's malaise vacances? What does that even entail? I don't know, man. I'm gonna guess here. Damn. That means I will not work? Oh shit. But really, I think that a lot of people might not like be able to work. It'll be so hot with people and everything. If they do like last year and accept many people. But then again, maybe because that's gonna be so hot, there'll be less people. I hope. I hope. Bonky Road. Hello, Lunk. Welcome to the stream. I'm thinking I want to go 2 days, yeah, so I can do them kind of chill. Like I don't have to stress about getting there super early or super late. That's the first year I did it. That was the best for me. When I had to go there super early and I got my issues with my wet feet and stuff, so that was another problem. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have such a good time last time, but it was my own fault. Daff. Hello, look, it's Daff. Saturday, Sunday? I want to go Sunday. Lunk has already proposed Sunday. And then I don't know, I guess Saturday. Probably not Friday. Although I'd love to go Friday. I don't know if I can take a day off. Mailiao Harbor. Because my ticket doesn't work on Saturday and it's the expensive day. Oh, really? That's weird. I didn't know that. So what other days are there? Isn't it just Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Shit. Taiwan. Mailiao Township. I will remember this. Thursday too? Oh wow. I don't know if that would work though, if I go after work or something. Maybe I do take my Friday. I don't know. It's not such a big deal. Nelson Street. Oh. Now this could be the Netherlands. I was gonna say UK, but... Scotland flag. Dunhill Links Kingsbarn. It looks like the UK though, but it's kind of the UK. It's the best part of the UK. Can I find a town sign though? I don't know. Oh. Craigtown. Okay. We're gonna find it, guys. Aldi! Yes, Aldi. You saw it too. Now, where's Craig? What did you do? Ah. Ah. Croy. I can't see it, guys. Morrison's. Need to get on the highway. Ah, no, I'm dead. Here. Ah. St. Andrews? Who the hell is Craigstown then? Fuck. Jessica Allen, hello, welcome to the stream. How's things going? Maybe they will. You think they might cancel? No way. That would suck. That would really, really suck. Do you have any information about that? But I guess if it's 45 degrees, I don't know what they're supposed to do. It's in 3 weeks. They don't have AC at all? No, they have some AC. But just not very much, I'm assuming. RERB will not work. That's true. But so many people come by car. I don't know. The prefecture can cancel it? The prefecture, really? It's so far away though. Hold on. This is their website. Yes, this one. Oh shit. Not to mention this. I want to see this guy. I thought Solidays chose to cancel themselves. No way, I didn't know Solidays. Solidays was cancelled by the... Wow, I didn't realize it was a request. That's crazy. I know they canceled the Pride. I didn't know they canceled Silly Days. I thought Silly Days was like the event themselves. I bet they don't say anything about it though. It's gonna be so much stuff though. It's gonna be so cool. Hyrox was cancelled too? What's that? Oh, but that makes sense. How long do they have to give? Wow. Hours. No, it says 3 days. Or maybe that's for only when you're doing it? I don't know. It's not the right thing. Solid Days was 4 hours before? That's almost worse. Wow. What? Why exactly? Everyone, they'd already organized everything in the heat, only to have it cancelled and then have them have to undo it. Bro, I would be so pissed. I wonder how the organizers dealt with that. Hello, Jojo. How do the organizers deal with that? Because as if I was a Beneville, I wouldn't want to undo the work I did. I would leave. I'd be so pissed. They 3 million euros. Man. Video cuts from comic commercials. Yeah, yeah. Were they really sad? I bet they were really sad. I'm not clicking on Twitter. No. I'm not getting banned on Twitter. Yeah, of course. It's charity. It's always good to charity. But charity after like costs. So that's crazy. People are already there, so they put a freaking football game. Where, yeah, you need to pay the headline, so yeah. Wow. I'm just saying. Just saying. You can barely contain that thing. Anyway, moving on. That's so sick. But that's a bullshit. I mean, a bullshit reason. But it's almost sure that it's gonna be cancelled then. Like... maybe not, I don't know. It's not. It's supposed to start on the 14th. The big 45 degrees is supposed to start on the 14th. So it starts just before. Because it's jeudi to 12, 9 to 12, right? And how do you feel, Luna? Do you want it to be cancelled or you want it to keep going? As someone who's working at the event. Bro, I can't believe it. I thought they canceled Sundays, but like they gave them at least like a week's notice, you know? I can ask though, but yeah. What do you mean you can ask? I mean, do you want it to be cancelled so you can rest, or do you want it to go on so you can enjoy? Oh no, it's hell again. Yeah. Would be for sure cancelled last minute, yeah. But if they at least told you, guys, you're gonna be cancelled if you can't do this, and this, you know? Yes, I want to rest. Ah, it's not cool, man. I want to buy stuff. This is what I was looking at. Where is it? I can't find it. I don't want to work with 6 authors. Bro. Just give 2 of them the finger so they don't want to work with you, and then be chill with 4. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it was this. I found it. Although this says this says 9th of July. This says right there, 9th of July. 11th. 12. It's dark. It's very dark. It's hell. I wonder if this has enough time. Ooh, look at those temperatures. 18. Ooh. Oh yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, I paused it. When I was moving my dishwasher up the stairs, just 15 stairs, I was sweating like crazy. I was dripping out of my arms, my armpits. I was soaked within a matter of minutes, and it's not even that hot now. I can't imagine people who are working in this temperature. For real. Like any kind of mason, any kind of plumber, anything. I don't know how it's possible. Like just even using some strength to move something, I was completely wet. Anyway, let's keep going. See how hot it gets. '30th. Well, we have... Yeah, I can't imagine. How did it go? Were you guys soaked as well? Or was it okay? Oh, that's all we get. Okay. Started early, but yeah, I was dripping. Oh yeah, Danny was dripping. Cold noodle? What the hell is cold noodle? As in like cold noodle soup? I want a cold noodle. Do we at least get some wind? Not really. Where does this look? Where does this come from? Look here. It's like this. La France est en train de péter. The more you get through the day, the hotter it gets, so the more tiring it's. Yeah, of course. Where is this wind coming from? Look, it's just coming out of France. Nice chakra map. Thank you. I use it all the time. It's really good. France's chakras are all blocked. I want this. Where's my 50 km per hour wind? I want it. No more rain today. I love these satellite pictures. They're so cool. Isn't this crazy though? Like, imagine, like right now, this is live, right? So you can literally see, like, the fact that Lyon, Grenoble, Montpellier, Marseille, they're all in the dark. And I just have to move it forwards a little bit. You can see the dark come. Isn't that cool? I like that, it's really cool. And you can see, like, right now, Paris is not quite sunset, but it's just about there right now. That's fake. The Earth is flat. Okay. Look, this is flat, no? What are you talking about? It's flat. Guys, have secret intel. There's disturbance in this area. The possible development area of the disturbance. We must go find out and save the world. Oh no, there's more. We have to invest 95 watts. Guys, give me your watts. We must invest. Oh, we need 96 watts here. In Guam. Come on, guys. I don't know what they are. There's El Nino. Aren't we already in El Nino, technically? You refresh. I guess you haven't got the picture for the later minutes yet. What's the minimum time? 10 minutes. We should have 21 though. I want 21. I don't know why. I always find like satellite pictures so fascinating. Because like just think like somewhere down here you're in this picture. You know? Or like somewhere down here you're in this picture. I think that's cool. I'm out of water. Officially thirsty again. Alright, Google. Big... No, I'm kidding. Did they say more about the program as well, or no? Blue Giant Momentum. That's cool. Kachan. What is she doing? Holy shit, she's doing a lot. Ba 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 ba. I hope they will. Oh. Cool, Mamon. Is there anything specific you guys want to see there? Necrosis head. Ba, ba, ba. Luna, lol. Just small artists for you. And yes, Lunk is a simp. I want to see Mitsu again. She never shows up in the... Yeah, here. Ta. Oh, I can't Daisuke. I can't Daisuke because I have to log into Daisuke? Bullshit. But yeah, I don't know any other specific things I want to see. Korean wave? What? Did it work or no? Oh, that's cool. There's a kimchi shop. And there's Ankama as well. 25 years for Ankama. So that'll be cool. Ankama convention. For the first time in 25 years, it's bullshit. They're lying. I like to look at stands and complain how expensive this stuff is. I can do that with you. I'm happy to do that with you. As long as you close your eyes when I actually buy something. It's like, yes, yes, it's so expensive. Here, take my money. Yeah, take it. Oh, there's too much. Why close his eyes? Because he has to close his eyes when I'm buying something, no? If he wants to complain about how expensive it is. What are you thinking? I'm buying for you guys? Maybe. What about cosplay? Is there cosplay stuff? Of course. What TCG? eBay? Wait, eBay is gonna be there? What? Huh? Oh, that reminds me. What the heck? I bought some Pokemon cards when I was leaving. I said like, okay, let me get some because I want to have some dopamine. Oh, she actually has her own stall. That's crazy. Did you see the guy on TikTok unboxing? Nah, it's for me. All my dopamine. Or I'll show you pictures on Discord or something. I don't know. The guy on TikTok, did he get like a super rare card or something? Do you mean what's his name? Pocket Monster. This guy.
I was at a card show when I spotted this pack with a post-it note on it, and when I asked to check it out,
First edition. First set, baby. Let's do it.
I took it home, man.
Should I open it or should I keep it sealed?
I paid $300 for a heavy first edition fossil pack. Heavy means it was weighed, and because it is heavy, it's
Now I have to watch it.
holographic card in it. Let's see if it actually does. I'm going to be very upset if it doesn't, but let's see what else we can get out of here, and hopefully get something good. Fossil came out in 1999. It was the third set.
Beard
Basic
Dad
jungle.
cards.
So let's
Okay.
see if we get anything good here.
Oh,
That was actually rare.
what did he do? Oh, cause he donates. I think he gives back a lot. I think, yeah. I haven't watched much of his stuff, if I'm being honest. I know his face though. Watch on TikTok. I watch one. Pin.
Yes, I have an answer.
I bought this for really good, but I like this for better.
Sure. That work for you? All right, deal. You're welcome. Huh?
I don't have a binder.
Hold on, is that Cheez-Its? You don't have a binder? No, you're about to. Hold on.
I don't binder, so I'm like putting them in a cheese box. Oh,
That's for you.
Aww.
It's a binder now. You got a binder. 100%. Yeah. Now you have to use your Cheez-It box. I have that one, or I have this one. Then take that one. Oh wait, I have another one too. I don't know if this fancies you.
wait, is that this one? Oh wait, I've been looking for one that size.
I got this one.
Oh my goodness.
You're welcome. You're
What
welcome.
a cutie.
Yes, your Cheez-It box is gone. Awesome.
Like quite literally.
But the top loaders don't fit in here,
That's
okay?
okay.
So just keep that in mind. You're welcome.
A few moments later.
A few moments later.
Can you give this to the next kid you see?
Oh my God, are you sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, she walks up.
Do you want this really cool plushie?
Like Oshawa?
Do you like Oshawa? You do? Is that okay with you? There you go. You can have that.
You like him?
Look, see, your happiness is now her happiness.
Take good care of him.
Aww. Thank you so much. Yes, I have an answer.
I love the people that do this. They make it go round. They really do. They make the entire thing, in my opinion, work. Without them, it doesn't work. Oni? What is Oni? It's a secret. Hmm. Music. Seems like a pretty mid lineup. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe one day will be enough. I think it'll definitely depend on how hot it is. If it is hot, I would stay home. It's kind of sad as well, like Hoyo. Hoyo came once, I think. I remember that last time there was like actually even there was a Hololive stand, wasn't there? At one point, there was a Hololive stand, and they never came back. Something must have gone not like they wanted. So much stuff. Oh my gosh. I forgot how far it is. Oh my god. Why is it always on the opposite side of my fucking house? Oh well. Oh well. What's amazing? What's an other? It's so sad to have like a shitty list like this. Anyway, these are my shitty results. Very bad. Very, very bad. Do you guys want to discuss? Oh, I want to discuss something with you guys. Maybe you guys know more than me. Who knows how to use a dishwasher? I just thought you put like dishwasher tabs inside, and sometimes salt, and sometimes you clean the filter. Is there more to it than that? We will find out together. Normally just the dish things. No, I think there's more to it. That was when I was leaving. They told me, "Oh yeah, and you have this dishwasher vanish thing." I don't know.
Alright, today I'm going to show you how to use a dishwasher. Right here in front of me I have a dishwasher, and I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to go over how to load it. I'm going to go over how to load the
You
detergent.
see? Look! He has many different things! I don't know how to use a dishwasher.
How to use rinse aid, what's the purpose of all of these tools, and of course I'm going to show you how to turn it on, start it, and a lot of features with a dishwasher. But before we get started, you can give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to my channel. I'll appreciate it.
Thumbs up.
Alright, so let's get started. So I'm using a Bosch dishwasher. Now this may be different from your dishwasher that you have at home, but the basic controls and functions of the dishwasher are universal and pretty much the same. But before you use your dishwasher, read your instructions and use your manual so you know how to do it properly. So let's go forward with how to use a dishwasher. So I have the dishwasher right here. Now I've already loaded the dishwasher, and some of you may be have objection to how I loaded it, but this is just a simple way of how I loaded. I'm going to talk to you about like how I would normally load it as opposed to how I loaded it right here. So right here I have dishes in my dishwasher right here. Okay, so I've loaded them in there. Now with dishwashers you have racks. You have a lower rack, you have an upper rack, and sometimes you may have a third rack where you may be able to put some other things.
Mine has a third rack.
Momentarily. Right, so you'll want to load your dishes into the dishwasher. Typically, you load plates, perhaps maybe some bowls on the bottom down here, and you load up cups and things of like smaller bowls up here. And generally, people don't usually put pots in here. But now let me tell you why I put pots in here, because I don't want to wash
good
my hand,
information.
and these pots that I have in here are dishwasher safe. All right, so what I did was I typically keep, if I'm washing pots, I put my pots on the lower shelf because typically they're heavier. The lower rack can usually handle much more weight, and so I put them on the lower shelf. So I loaded them up here. I have like right here for my air fryer, which is dishwasher safe right there. That drawer is dishwasher safe, and I have my pot down here. I have a large bowl. And what I typically do with like some sort of odd things like plates,
I'm gonna skip forwards a bit.
Just put them along here.
I don't know how to, I don't need to know how to load.
And I didn't want to have a mistake because you want here too tall. It'll prevent this from use it. But this is the filter right here. Now I'm going to get to the soaps and how to use that in a second, but I just want to briefly go upon that. So this is the filter right here, and occasionally you'll have to take the filter out and clean it. Now look at your owner's manual so you know how to do that, so you know how to particularly clean it and clean out that hole right there, which food can get collected in there. You want to clean that off occasionally, all right? So that is the filter down there. I put that into place.
Okay.
Into place. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut the dishwasher. Now the next thing that I'm going to go over is the rinse aid. Now rinse aid is important because it allows the dishes to be rinsed properly and dried properly. Now, you're like, how is it going to make it dry properly? Now, what rinse aid does, it actually eliminates surface tension on water droplets, allowing the droplets to actually fall off. Now, if you have a whole bunch of droplets right here, it will make it hard for the dishes to get dry. Now, the rinse aid will allow the droplets to actually drop off down into the drain, allowing for the dishes to dry faster and more efficiently. Now, with your dishwasher, there is a rinse aid compartment. On this particular one, the rinse aid compartment, where I fill up with rinse aid, is right here on this particular one. You want to check and find where your rinse aid compartment is. Find some rinse aid.
Since when does that
this
exist?
Right here, Finish rinse aid, but the Cascade always makes some, and I think Target may have one. And you're going to want to fill up the rinse aid. Now, you don't have to do this all the time. You just have to make sure there's enough rinse aid to make it through the wash. Now, when I fill it up, if I'm washing dishes every day, rinse aid will probably last this dishwasher.
I'm
its current
confused.
setting for about 2 weeks or so before I have to fill it up with more rinse aid. So always keep some rinse aid on hand to make sure you have enough rinse aid in. Now, a lot of dishwashers will have an indicator on the door of the rinse aid, which shows you how much rinse aid is in there. Other dishwashers will let you know when the rinse aid is low, and that's when you have to fill it. So added rinse aid. Now, you don't want to add too much. You want to be careful when you add in here, because you don't want to spill a lot of it out there, because that's a big waste right there, like I did. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is detergent. Now, I have 3 different types of detergent. I have a liquid detergent, I have a powdered detergent, and I have a pod detergent right here. They're all made by Cascade right
Here we go. Here we
now,
go.
when I use these right here, these are all different. I mean, they're all good. One actually works better than the other two, but I'm going to get over that. So with the liquid detergent right here, it's Cascade, you simply open up the
Tide
container
Pod
of
Challenge.
liquid, and
No!
here is a
Don't
drawer
eat them.
where you can pour or squirt the liquid detergent into. On this particular dishwasher, it is right there. So you put the detergent in there, and then you close it, okay? You make sure it's closed once you have it in there, all right? So you pour it in there. Now, some dishwashers actually have 2 cups. They have 2 cups. They'll have one where there's a primary cup that you close, and another one, sometimes they'll say it's a pre-wash, and you can put some in both compartments. With the pre-wash, you get a little bit extra wash at the beginning, as well as with the main wash. But you put it in the main wash compartment, close it, it locks into place, and when you go over you do the settings to where you're actually washing the dishes, this will pop open mid-wash and dispense detergent in order for the dishes to get clean. And I'll go over settings for the dishwasher in a second. So you can put liquid in here. I have a liquid detergent, put that in there. I also have a powdered detergent. Powdered detergent you add to the dishwasher the same way. You just go ahead and add it to the compartment. So with the powder, you add it to the compartment right here.
Since when is there powdered detergent for dishwashers?
More washing power. Add some to the main compartment.
Isn't it always a tablet?
To the pre-wash compartment as well. Now, what I typically like to use, the pods, okay? These are Cascade pods, okay? These are Cascade Platinum pods, and I find that they wash the dishes better.
We use
in
powder,
powder
it's much
form
better.
Or the liquid
Pod is much
detergent
better.
form with Cascade Complete. I
But
just find that they work
do you
better. So
use
what you do is,
Vanish?
Just go ahead and take just one pod. That's all it takes.
Water
One pod.
drying
Go
thing?
ahead and remember the compartment that we're talking about. Just go ahead and take that, put that into the compartment, shut it, make sure it's shut. Now, say for instance you put one in there and you didn't mean to put it in there, you want to use something else. On most compartments, there's usually a button, or you can slide the drawer open. On this one right here, it's just a button right here that I'm going to press, and it pops open. I can remove it if I need to, if I made an accident, but I didn't make an
Son,
accident.
I want to
So
buy
I'm just
another
gonna
brand
close
though?
this
Oh,
in
wait, what?
place like that. And so it's in there. So now we're all set to go ahead and shut the door on the dishwasher and program it to wash. All right, so I can go ahead and shut it, okay, and then do my controls. But this dishwasher, the controls are actually on the lip of the door, so I can't shut it and then make my settings. So for this particular dishwasher, I have to come over here to the controls. And you see the controls on here? There are a lot of buttons to choose from. Now, on this particular dishwasher, the cycles are on the left.
In
and the
France, there's a
options
thing
are on the
called
right, and the
pimpant.
start button
They
is
send you
on
the
the
powder
right.
refills without plastic
So,
waste.
I'm going to go with the
Oh.
cycles first. You have the
But I want to use
a lot of
pods.
cycles. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. You want to turn on your dishwasher
I already bought
first
pods.
before you select the cycles. So on here, it goes to the native setting as auto. Now I'll talk to auto right after I get to heavy. So heavy wash right here, this is a selection you can choose. Heavy wash actually uses the most energy, the most water usually.
Hate
in order
pods?
to
Okay.
wash the dishes thoroughly. Now I'll use heavy if I have heavy soiled dishes inside of my dishwasher and they need that extra punch, that extra wash. I'll use heavy. Now auto, this is a new feature that newer dishwashers have. An auto feature actually automatically detects when the dishes are clean. Therefore, the timing of the cycle
Oh,
can
that's
be
interesting.
off. Now you see heavy on this particular one is usually the longest, right? So it's 2 hours 30 minutes. Turn it to auto. It's on auto. It still says 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it will adjust depending on how the dishwasher senses if the dishes are clean or not. Next, on this dishwasher, there is an eco setting. Now the eco setting actually uses less water, less heat, less time to wash the dishes. Now this settings right here is built to save energy. All right?
Okay.
Now, with that being said, saving energy
We all knew that.
sometimes mean that it's the dishes aren't getting the same attention as different cycles. It uses the least amount of energy, so the least amount of washing, so usually your dishes may not come as clean as if it were in for the normal or heavy setting or even the auto. So eco, you just have to come to terms with it. Are the dishes clean enough? Usually, if I use Cascade Platinum pods, or
Cascade Platinum pods.
powder, eco usually doesn't get it clean for me. Now, it
Oh,
may
wow.
be different for you depending on how hard your water is and how soiled your dishes are. But that's something that you'll have to find out yourself. So we have that. Next, we have the normal mode. I go with normal mode normally because it's normal mode. It's just the normal wash. Okay, it is actually less as effective or less washing than heavy. It can sometimes be the same as auto, but it's definitely more than eco. The next one I'm going to go to is speed 60. All right, speed 60 actually is the quick mode. A lot of dishwashers have a quick mode where it'll wash the dishes within an hour or so, and that's where you have speed 60. Now this dishwasher also has a rinse option. Say for instance, you just want the dishes rinsed, so it makes it easier on the wash later on, but you don't want to run the full wash. Go to
Guys,
rinse,
I'm
go
struggling
rinse
with this
the
video.
dishes. In a way, you have sanitize mode. The sanitize mode is what it says. It actually dries the dishes a little bit longer to make sure that the dishes are extra
Sanitized.
dry. Now, sometimes people will turn this on because their dishes are not getting dry enough. Where in fact, from my experience, by using a rinse aid, having a rinse aid, making sure you have rinse aid inside the compartment before you start your wash, will actually alleviate this issue to where you don't have to use extra dry. Because the dishes will in fact get dry if there's no surface tension on the droplets of water, which rinse aid eliminates. So using
What about
rinse aid
salt?
can actually save you energy if you add it to your dishwasher before wash. But there's the extra dry.
We didn't talk about salt. Ah! Cool chicken in there. No. Eh? Salt. Flo's mom tried cooking salmon in the dishwasher once? What? No way. It's gotta be a joke. No?
To work. You can top up your dishwasher salt level. You can top up your dishwasher salt levels by pouring your dishwasher salt into your water softener at the bottom of the machine. Simply unscrew the cap, pour in the dishwasher salt till it's full, put the cap back on, and you're done. Don't worry if you overfill it, just wipe away.
But
the excess.
why?
You may have noticed that I'm always saying dishwasher salt and not just salt. That's because you must use dishwasher salt only. Any other salt, like table salt, is far too fine, meaning it can actually leave the softener and damage your machine. Rinse aid is used to counteract the
Salty.
surface tension of water, stopping water droplets from forming, which is what causes streaks. But Bryn, you might be saying to yourself, my detergent tablet comes with built-in rinse aid. Well, the benefit of using separate rinse aid is that on most machines you can actually control the amount of rinse aid needed. On this model I can actually set it using the control panel, but a lot of models have a dial next to the detergent drawer. If your glassware is still coming out streaky, simply turn the setting up till everything is squeaky clean. Remember, you can order any replacement parts for your dishwasher or book one of our thousands of engineers local to you by visiting hotpointservice.co.uk.
I see. Okay. So salt is useless. It's useless. Useless. Oh shit. Try mud. I will put mud in my dishwasher for science. Is this in French?
A 1,000 people dead.
No. I'm gonna watch this with you guys because it's topical and I want to.
In 4 days. The hottest day France. 1,000 people dead in 4 days. The hottest day France has ever recorded. The Eiffel Tower closing its own doors against the heat. A football player drowned trying to cool off in the river. Scientists say nights this hot are now 100 times more likely than 20 years ago. The sky itself has turned into a weapon.
The sun is a deadly laser.
France's record-breaking heatwave has claimed close to 1,000 lives.
This is what I
with
wanted to
health
see.
officials warning the toll is far from
1,000
behind.
people died, guys.
Public Health France said in a statement on June 28th.
So
that
it's
around
fixing the
1,000
retirement.
deaths had been recorded since June 24th, compared with the usual death rate for this time of year.
Yes.
The vast majority, 85%, involved people aged 65 or over.
It's actually
The
working.
worst hit
Oh, that's too
regions were
bad.
those placed under red heat alerts, including Île-de-France, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, Brittany,
Nouvelle-Aquitaine.
Centre-Val de Loire, Normandy, and Pays de la Loire.
Pays de la
More than 30
Loire.
French departments spent much of the week under that red alert, and June 24th became the country's hottest day on record, with the average temperature over 24 hours reaching 30 degrees Celsius. In Paris, the strain on emergency services prompted authorities to ban public drinking over the weekend, while the city's
Oh, yeah.
Pride March, originally set for June 27th, was postponed. Both the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre began closing early to cope with the heat.
It's really hot in my apartment. We live on the last floor, so we also want to study. We also want to continue our life normally, but it's almost impossible. Like, I knew by my neighbor that the town hall is open, so the first thing we did, we came to the town hall to study, to continue our work. Because, like, at some point, even with the fan, it's not working in the house, so we had to find another place. And it's nice that we have this.
As residents sought relief in parks and along canals, the dangers of unsupervised swimming turned fatal. A
Oh.
man drowned in the canal Saint Martin
No
on the night
way.
of June 26th, prompting a blunt warning from the city's mayor. French Health Minister Stephanie Rist warned that the consequences of the heatwave could linger for up to 10 days after temperatures finally ease.
Yes, there are some. Obviously, mortality is increasing, but it is not for me to communicate on that. It is for the health authorities to do so. We have more or less all the indicators that show we are in a difficult situation. It is both the calls to the SAMU, the calls to the fire brigade, admissions to emergency departments, and obviously, deaths. And so I repeat,
Yeah, but
emergency
you need to
measures are
plant a lot of
necessary for
plants,
our
but
own
will they do it?
protection
I
and
don't
to
think
stay
so.
hydrated. and above all, not to believe that one is invulnerable.
Football was not spared either. League Two player Kenzo Kies, 21, died after reportedly drowning in the Rhone River during the heatwave, with his club Guingamp expressing its condolences. The crisis has stretched well beyond France. Scientists describe the heatwave, which began on June 20th, as the worst Europe has ever recorded, with human
What a lovely green.
making this week's extreme nighttime temperatures around 100 times more likely than 2 decades ago.
A widespread, intense, late June heatwave in Europe, as you all know, as you're all feeling, has shattered numerous temperature records. It's having major impacts on human health, on ecosystems, on agriculture, on labor productivity. It's accompanied in some areas, in particular France, by...
I need to go grab something to do to wake myself up. Need some sugar. Sugar.
Worsening drought and the risk of wildfires, as well as localized storms.
Germany, Poland and Italy were all forecast to near or top 40 degrees Celsius, while storms disrupted parts of France, cutting power to around 63,000 households by early June 28th. In Italy, rescuers searched for the husband of Cabinet Minister Eugenia Roccella, missing since June 27th after swimming in Lake Vico, north of Rome.
High temperatures we're seeing during the day get much of the attention, but nighttime temperatures are exceptionally high too. When temperatures stay above 20 degrees Celsius overnight, as we've seen recently, as Claire mentioned, residences can't shed the excess heat, and that exposes people to dangerous indoor conditions. In such conditions, the body can't recover from the heat of the day.
With storms now moving through parts of the country, France and half of the European continent are bracing for the true scale of its heat wave to become clear only in the days ahead.
That's a cool picture. Abandon the streets. Must live underground and become the mole people.
On veut profiter de nos journées. On est à Paris pour quelques jours, donc même hier, malgré la chaleur, on a été se balader autour de Notre-Dame. Si
mole people, mole people, look like people, talk like moles.
Voilà. On essaye d'alterner un petit peu entre l'ombre et le soleil.
It's so stereotypical of Europe. In winter, people are like, there's extra people dying because of winter blues. In summer comes and everyone's just too hot.
So it's not easy during the afternoon to visit in a safe way.
I'm surprised more people don't have parasols. That lady understood the assignment. Look, she has an umbrella. White people, they become red, they still won't wear any protection because they become red. Mm. But Asians care a lot about their complexion as a general population compared to Europeans. Especially men. People couldn't care less. They become rednecks. I see red burnt white guys, I'm scared. Don't worry, as long as you can see the red, it's okay. When you start to smell bacon, it starts to become a problem. Smells like skin cancer. Mm-mm-mm. What am I watching?
D'arrondissement de Paris, on a ouvert ici dans le 18e des salles rafraîchies pour permettre aux habitants du quartier, aux habitants du 18e de trouver un espace, en plus des espaces qui veulent exister à l'extérieur, pour se rafraîchir, pour faire une pause, pour travailler pour beaucoup, pour venir avec leurs enfants, bref, pour pouvoir être ensemble tranquillement et au frais dans ce moment de grande canicule. Donc on prend bien sûr en compte les personnes les plus fragiles pour les mettre à l'abri, pour leur permettre de vivre cette période le plus facilement possible. Et c'est vrai aussi des tout petits dans nos crèches. Et là aussi, vous le verrez, dans nos zones rafraîchies, il y a beaucoup de gens qui viennent avec leurs enfants petits parce qu'eux aussi sont en fait fragiles.
Underground, look. Underground. That's the future. Not even a joke anymore.
It's really hot at my apartment. We live in the last floor. So we also want to study, we also want to continue our life normally, but it's almost impossible. So I knew by my neighbor that the mairie is open. So it's the first thing we did. We came to the mairie to study, to continue our work. Because at some point, even if with a fan, it's not working in the house. So we had to find other place, and it's nice that we have this.
Very smart.
C'est difficile, hein, parce que chez moi, il y a 33. Donc, j'habite sous les toits. Pour moi, j'habite près d'ici. Donc, pour moi, c'est facile de venir.
Anyway.
Et du coup, on est venu se rappeler.
That's enough of that. It's getting boring. Oh shit. My YouTube stream is not at all up to date. Can you hear me sucking on my ice cream? The problem is that they want to conserve the Parisian architecture. They refuse to make changes to the buildings, and the roofs are especially prone to overheating. They are made from zinc. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And who knows who's gonna make the decision, you know? Yeah, literally 1,000 people have died extra. Just from the supposedly from the heat. Oh shit. Lo, I have to show you guys this. I wanna show you guys how much of a big deal it is. I know this is in French, but it's okay.
On est directement lié au phénomène de la chaleur. Il n'y a pas d'autre. Enfin, dans tous les cas qu'on a eu depuis hier après-midi, on est dans ce cas-là.
La canicule s'éloigne ce dimanche, mais 1000 décès de plus que la normale ont déjà été recensés depuis mercredi en France, selon les autorités sanitaires, notamment à domicile. Des données partielles qui sous-estiment le nombre total de décès, précise aussi le communiqué. Hôpitaux et services de secours sous tension cette semaine, saturation de services funéraires par endroit ce week-end. Des premiers signes de surmortalité avaient fait leur apparition.
On observe effectivement de nombreux décès à domicile, un petit peu en EHPAD, mais surtout à domicile en fait. Et donc avec une obligation de transférer les personnes décédées vers une chambre funéraire. Depuis hier, ça s'est beaucoup accéléré. Et donc là actuellement, on est
I don't get it. France had a before taste in
sur
2003.
l'île de France,
Yeah.
dans les chambres funéraires. On est
Money.
sans aucune place sur Paris.
Un témoignage qui rejoint celui des autres agences que nous avons appelées samedi à Paris et aux alentours.
It's a wake-up
Qui font
call
un constat,
because
une
it
hausse
happened
très
sort of
sensible
last
des
year
décès
as
ces derniers
well.
jours et une saturation des chambres funéraires autour de la capitale.
On est à peu près à x3 à peu près par rapport aux décès habituels. On n'est pas une grande société, mais à notre niveau, ça montre de toute façon qu'ils sont dans la même situation que nous. Elle doit vous rappeler justement pour vous donner l'heure à laquelle il va arriver. On part très loin. Là, on a des transferts vers Étampes. Mais il faut savoir qu'en temps normal, nous, quand il y a un petit peu de saturation à Paris, on va généralement en banlieue. Mais actuellement, il n'y a plus de place non plus. Donc, on a alerté la préfecture.
Because everywhere is getting death
Afin
increases.
d'accueillir les défunts si la tendance se poursuit dans les 24-48 heures. Selon le porte-parole de la Fédération nationale du funéraire, en plus de Paris et de la région centre, des tensions apparaissaient aussi dimanche à Angers, Nantes et dans le Nord.
On a des régions où il n'y a pas du tout de conséquences actuellement. Il y a des régions où c'est un peu plus tendu. Nous, la région centre, là où nous, on gère 30 chambres funéraires, donc on a déjà une idée assez précise de ce qui se passe. Au moment où je vous parle, on a la quasi-totalité de nos chambres funéraires qui sont complètes. Et une situation qui devient critique à Paris.
You think so? You believe?
Première couronne.
You believe it? The theory that it's going to be to solve the retirement crisis. You know, I don't know how unrealistic that is, but if let's take it to its extreme, okay? In France, particularly, you have a lot of old people who are retired, who cost a lot of money for the retirement, but also medically, because they have to be taken care of medically. A heat wave kills off the weakest of them, regardless of age, right? If you have an 80-year-old grandma who's super active and drinks a lot of water and is really careful about her health, she'll do better than a 60-year-old who's smoked and drank her entire life, you know? And that means that basically it kills off the people who are in the most bad shape. And that means it kills off the people who would cost the most to society. Yeah. But, I mean, they don't put AC in maternities, but there's so little babies today that I don't know if it's really a big deal. If you look at the big picture. They don't tell you to make kids in France anymore. They just import people. if you look at society in Japan, they still tell people to make kids. In Poland, they still tell people to make kids. In Ukraine, they still tell people to make kids. In the UK, in France, in Germany, I don't know about Italy, but they don't tell people to make kids anymore. They just it's like you're too late. Anyway,
Parce que
finish
les
the
deux
video.
chambres funéraires intramuros sont complètes, parce que les chambres funéraires première couronne commencent à l'être également, et que par exemple j'ai eu moi deux transferts de défunts du 92 dans le Loiret parce qu'il manquait de place.
Dimanche, lors d'un point presse, le sujet a été évoqué par Laurent Nunez, le ministre de l'Intérieur.
On a renforcé les moyens de l'Institut médico-légal à Paris, donc avec une surcapacité qui a pu être mise en place grâce aux moyens de la sécurité civile, donc gérée par la Direction générale de la sécurité civile pour Paris. Donc voilà, les moyens ont été renforcés. Ils pourront l'être au-delà en tant que de besoin.
Vendredi, la ministre de la Santé avait anticipé une hausse du nombre de décès liés à la chaleur.
C'est médicalement déjà démontré, la canicule de 2003 nous l'a exprimé, mais on est dans des chaleurs encore plus fortes, donc il y a des conséquences. Il y aura des conséquences sur le nombre de décès supplémentaires, il y a des conséquences, on le voit avec nos hôpitaux qui sont en tension.
En toile de fond, en effet, il y a le souvenir de la canicule de 2003 qui avait fait 15 000 morts, mais on ne sera pas probablement dans la même situation d'un point de vue sanitaire, a estimé dimanche Stéphanie Rist. La ministre de la Santé a précisé que la surmortalité ne serait probablement pas la même, évoquant notamment la meilleure préparation des EHPAD.
15,000 people died in 2003. I didn't know that. Was I here in 2003? No, I wasn't. I never knew about 2003. I wonder. I don't think I'm gonna stay online too long today, guys. I am very tired. I'm looking for some good nice videos to watch. I had my rain yesterday. Was hap storm. It felt so good, huh? Cold air. I don't know. Is it cooled down outside already for me? I don't know. Let me check. Not yet. It says raining in Julian Zozas, but it's not actually raining. It's 24 outside. Oh, it says showers, so maybe we'll be getting some more rain. No storm, but a little bit of rain. A little bit of Monica on the side. A little bit of Erica. My oh my. A little bit of No, I was finished. Jessica. Did you guys watch the Lego scandal? Did you? Did you watch the Lego scandal? Wait, his videos are offline. Ah, I can't show you the Lego scandal. The one with Reckless Ben. Hello, Tracy. And I'm in an ad. You are in an ad. I don't know if I can get like the full. I don't know if I want to share the full thing because it's long. Are we invested? It's buffering. It shouldn't be buffering. There's nothing going on. Why is it buffering? Me no likey buffer. I'm gonna just put the final message.
Episode 3 is finally finished after crazy all-nighters and basically destroying my health. But I can't post it or I will go to jail. And not only that, I will also immediately lose my lawsuit of $300,000, and the GoFundMe we made for Brian will go straight to this mystery company that I am no longer allowed to talk about. They sent court papers to my email, which I guess a judge approved for them that this was a valid form of service. And so now that I'm officially served, I cannot even mention this company or I will be in jail and everything. Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit and we lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, like immediately. So I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company. My personal opinion is that this is unfair because this order was put on me because this company was telling the court that I was making bomb threats. I was planning on murdering the manager and employees, which obviously I didn't do, and you can see that in the footage. The only problem is I was not given a chance to share my side. The court just heard their perspective, not mine. So because I wasn't able to share my side, I am now no longer allowed to talk about them, and looks like this might be it. So, yeah.
Huh. So, don't know what I can put about this Lego scandal, but basically there was 200,000 euros worth of Legos that were stolen by a company by mistake in some regard, in others trying to scam the family out of that Lego set. those Lego sets. In comes our boy Reckless Ben. Reckless Ben is like, I can get you intel. And he basically goes over there and tries to screw with the guy in the hopes that he would actually give him what he wanted. And now, everything has come to a head because of police corruption. Because the police are kind of corrupt, or at least seem to be, around this CEO guy that you can see in the left video. Who is almost falling off the mountain, basically. Anyway, I'm on YouTube. All right, see you in a bit on YouTube. I'm kind of a low energy right now. I'm struggling to keep up with you. I wanted to see if I could see if there's like an update where he recaps everything, but it doesn't seem to be. So it's either watch 2 hours and a half of video or nothing. So it's gonna be nothing. I can find something else. Oh wait, this is the CoffeeZilla video. That's perfect. CoffeeZilla.
Here's a Lego pro tip. If your company has been accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Lego sets, the last thing you should do is go on camera with YouTube's most popular detective, known for killing giants, and start admitting that you were wrong or mistaken and start walking back your own allegations. And yet, that's not only what the owners of Bricks and Minifigs did, but that's also what the subsequent franchisee and the original franchisee did as well. That is not going to play well in...
Before this starts, I need water. I'll be right back. Water. Oh, your messages aren't popping up on YouTube? Ooh, my bad. That's not right. Thanks for letting me know. It should be working now. Let me check YouTube. Yeah, you probably arrived right when I was away. Yeah, I am very sleepy. I got my my dishwasher today, so I did a lot of work to go grab it. Here, do a test message. Actually, maybe I'll do one. Should show up. Yeah, it's working. So I got my dishwasher, but I thought that you're gonna go rest, Jojo? Yeah, no problem. Have a nice sleep. I probably might do this, have everyone do the same, to be honest. Naito. But yeah, I got my dishwasher and I got it home after having taken it down from like the 3rd floor with someone's help. But the problem was when I got it home, I was by myself, and by myself, then I had to carry it up 1 flight of stairs, which I thought would be easy because I have like a trolley. But in the end, the trolley's wheels were too small to go up the steps by my own strength. So I had to basically lift up the whole machine, which was like 60 kilos by itself, 1 step at a time. And it was still very hot. So I was completely like sweating and losing my grip and everything. But I finally got it up there. Finally got it up there. And now I have it in my house. I just need to cut a hole in my kitchen to let the wires and stuff through. Yeah, my back's fine. That's not that much weight. Doing it properly, carefully. Anyway,
various
back to CoffeeZilla.
Lawsuits. People, not talking is always an option.
Oh, my bad. Legal
And
eagle.
remember, it's always Friday somewhere.
I asked them, do they have the Legos?
What I can tell you is that we don't have it. We've never had access to it.
And for multiple reasons, it seems like everyone is making prejudicial statements that are bad for the various cases and the various defenses. And we started our coverage of this whole Lego saga by saying that everyone should have talked to a lawyer earlier. I guess we also should have specified that they should keep talking to a lawyer once they have one. I am frankly shocked that the lawyers signed off on their clients' interviews in this whole thing, but we'll get into that. Now, we and everyone else has covered the facts in depth, but a quick recap of how we got
that
here.
reminds me.
Bricks and Minifigs is a franchisor of Lego resale stores. Franchising means the local store is independently owned. Corporate licenses the brand and takes royalties. In November of 2023, Brian Mansell consigned his father Ed's Star Wars collection to the Salem Kaiser Oregon store, then run by franchisee Crystal Law Gorman and her husband Benjamin Gorman. Consignment means that you keep ownership and the store sells your stuff and takes a cut once it's been sold. Mansell and the Gormans publicized a value of around $200,000, but that was always unrealistically high, and this number could never be exact. CoffeeZilla, in his investigation, puts the number probably somewhere in the middle, around $100,000 to $110,000, and others who are far more knowledgeable about this than I am also seem to concur that that is a much more reasonable number. But at base, the Mansell collection consisted of hundreds of Lego sets in sealed condition, which everyone agrees was pretty valuable. Crystal Law and Mansell agreed to terms sometime around October or November of 2024, and the store sold Mansell's Lego for over a year. Then, in November of 2024, Law and Gorman announced that they were moving overseas. Bricks and Minifigs Corporate terminated their franchise agreement and repossessed the store overnight. The parties obviously disagree about how that closure went down. The Salem store then changed hands twice. In November, Bricks and Minifigs Corporate acquired these stores' assets as a bona fide purchaser for value without actual or constructive notice of the consignment agreement. As we've talked about in the past, bona fide purchaser for value will be important, and we'll talk about that again today, because a huge portion of Bricks and Minifigs' legal theory depends on the idea that the corporation had no meaningful notice.
Oh yeah,
that the
I didn't see
store
the Twitch
had
hates you
possession
thing,
of
but
some of
yeah,
Mansell's Legos.
Twitch does hate you.
In January
I don't know why.
2025, corporate started the process of selling the Salem franchise to Josh Johnson and Brandon Best, and the sale was completed in March. And everyone agrees that within 48 hours of the takeover, Mansell asked the...
It's passion fruit. It's passion fruit, not ice cream, but like frozen fruit. It's so good.
The store to...
I've been surviving on these for this summer.
Return the unsold Lego sets. At the time, the store was officially in the hands of corporate, but it was already being overseen by Johnson and Best. They told Mansell that they didn't have his collection,
Did you get yours?
Agreement, and then the company
Your
owed
ice
him
cream?
nothing. And for over a year, Mansell tried to verify which of his sets were still in the store. His lawyer sent them a demand letter, but that went nowhere. And that's how Mansell met Ben Schneider, better known as YouTube's Reckless Ben. Ben then waged a campaign against the store, the franchisees, and corporate in a quest to get the company to return Brian's lost Lego sets, or at least compensate him for the sets that weren't sold. And for more on that, you can check out our earlier videos for more about Reckless Ben's arrests and the underlying dispute. Now that takes us to all of the new acts and evidence that have come to light, and all of the lawsuits that are flying back and forth. But first, we have to talk about one of the most controversial aspects of our last video.
Bet.
I'm of course...
Wait, did you get them then? I'm confused.
Referring to the plural of Lego. Yes, as hundreds of you mentioned, the plural of Lego is Lego. You are all technically correct. And no, I don't care.
I asked
it
them,
sounds
did you get your ice cream? You were supposed to, you said last time you ordered some, and you never got it. You get more? You went out. Oh no. The things that push us beyond our limits. It melts so fast though.
Dumb, and I will die on that hill. My first LEGO sets were Classic Town, Futuron, Blacktron, and Space Police 1. So don't cite the deep magic to me. I was there when it was written. But please do continue leaving comments telling me
It's true,
that
but
I'm
I
wrong.
needed it. I'm
Honestly,
sure you did.
Leave too. Thanks for the engagement. So if you pointed that out, you all get 1 point. But actually, Lego is not spelled L-E-G-O with lowercase letters. It has to be L-E-G-O, all capitalized. So if you left a comment pointing out the pluralization, but failed to use the correct capitalization, you get negative 1,000 points. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. But in all seriousness, the reason I don't care and choose to intentionally not participate in this particular linguistic convention is that it's corporate branding. It's advertising for the Lego Corporation. Sure, the Lego brand guide says that Lego is an adjective.
In many ways,
So
more
they say
than
you should
one?
refer to
What do you
Lego
mean?
sets or Lego bricks. But here's the thing. If I want to get 10 blue marbles and I refer to that by saying, hey, give me 10 blues, everyone knows what you're talking about. That's a totally normal way to pluralize things, even if it is a singular adjective. But I also don't care what some giant multinational, multi-billion-dollar company wants, and I refuse to let the Danish tell me how to speak English. So I'm not going to blindly follow what the corporations tell me to do. So let's talk about all of these putatively stolen Legos. Now, obviously, Reckless Ben's campaign generated a staggering amount of bad publicity for Bricks and Minifigs and its franchisees, and that's when the legal war began. In May, the Gormans sued Bricks and Minifigs over the franchise repossession, and on May 27th, Bricks and Minifigs, which is run by the brothers Matt and Eamon McNeff, joined with Johnson and Best to file a sweeping civil lawsuit against the Gormans, Mansell, Reckless Ben, Victor Nguyen, and others. Basically, in that case, the plaintiffs alleged the defendants engineered and organized a conspiracy to destroy Bricks and Minifigs. Now, what's interesting is that Bricks and Minifigs and the other defendants are represented by Dentons. Dentons is one of the largest law firms in the world. But ironically, Dentons is one of the most unusual large law firms in the world, and many lawyers describe it as being franchise-like. Because frankly, it would be weird for a giant worldwide law firm to have a local law firm in Utah. But Denton's strategy, unlike almost every other big law firm in the world, is grow by combining the existing local firms around the world rather than building offices organically. So instead of opening a new office in a country or state and hiring lawyers from scratch, Denton's often just merges with a local law firm and allows that firm to retain a significant degree of local autonomy. This has allowed Denton's to become one of the largest law firms by headcount in the world, with thousands of lawyers across dozens of countries.
Nah.
But they don't really fully share in...
It's gonna be work. I mean, I might start some projects. I bought some wood today as well, which is supposed to go under my washing machine, but I probably will wait for next weekend. It really depends how cool it gets. If it gets nice and cool, I might do some other stuff, but I don't know what. I might have to install a security camera in my house as well. I had like it's nothing big, but like so I live in an apartment building that's kind of small, and out front we have like a small garden. And I had these two fake flowers that were on like a metal rod each. One was yellow and one was blue, and I stuck them into like my well, not my, but our what's it called? The pink lavender bush into our lavender bush. and I can only see the yellow one now. So someone's stolen the blue one, right? And that sucks. I hate that. But the problem is, like, if someone is willing to steal that, what are they willing to steal else? And it was a gift from a friend. So that sucks. And I don't really know what to do about that. But there you go. That's awful. Yeah, it is kind of awful. It's just like, it's like, not the theft, but like it's a sentimental thing. You need a view camera? Why? Oh. What are you doing with the cameras? I have a couple cameras that I could use, but nothing's... Your area's kind of rough? Okay. I've got like a GoPro, but it runs out of battery. It's like an older one. It runs out of battery really quick. And I would want one that I could like just have it as like a Nest cam, I guess. I have no idea how expensive they are. I doubt they're that expensive. Anyway, video.
Profits firm-wide, though they do share in marketing technology and referrals. Hence why a lot of people say that this law firm functions like a franchisor-franchisee relationship. And here, Bricks and Minifigs is represented by Denton's, Durham, Jones, and Pinniger, located in Lehi, Utah, which I'm assuming started the same way as a local Utah firm. So while Bricks and Minifigs is represented by a big scary law firm, maybe not quite as scary as most big scary law firms. And interestingly, the Bricks and Minifigs complaint lists 3 lawyers working on this case. 2 associates who have only been practicing for 1 and 3 years respectively, and then the partner on the masthead looks like he's been practicing law for literally 40 years and has a ton of experience, but might have retired 10 years ago to teach part-time and only came to Denton's in 2025. And even then, there was a 6-year gap in his resume between teaching part-time and practicing again starting in 2025. Just very weird. So without going into the substantive legal claims of their suit, call me skeptical of the lawyers working on this case and the law firm representing them. Though on top of that, the lawsuit is a verified complaint for civil RICO, defamation, and other falsehood-related claims, and various forms of conspiracy, as well as some intentional torts like tortious interference with existing prospective economic relations and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, between RICO, conspiracy, and tortious interference and intentional infliction of emotional distress, that's sort of the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, you mean security cameras, like
legal claims? They're not
Ring
impossible
doorbell
to prove, but you're
that's
not
what I meant
starting
for
out
myself
on the
as
right
well.
foot. I tend to see those used
I
improperly
didn't think of a Ring
more often
doorbell,
than I
though.
see them actually properly pled.
Let me Google that.
But I digress. But importantly, the Bricks and Minifig plaintiffs assert that Mansell, the Gormans, and Reckless Ben dramatically overstated the value of the original collection and the missing sets in order to extort money. In fact, the complaint uses the word extortion 21 times, and the complaint makes one key claim about the value of the collection, quote, less than $5,000 worth of Star Wars
they're
Lego
really cheap.
product could be located and identified in the entire residual
Had no
sale
idea.
LLC on-site inventory. But then, 7 days later, the company substantially changed its story. And because of this, I cannot stress enough how critical a legal notepad is when your job depends on making critical decisions in a high-stakes environment. And that's because some of the most important conversations often happen when you're not ready to take notes, which is why you might want to consider getting one of these Note Pros from Plod. If Corporation accurate note taking the app, not only did the most important through state and 1/3 users and receive for Plod stating management, Dr. Mansell and others, and did not receive enough to have a clear unsold collection to approximately $100,000. Eamon McNeff said, quote, "We've been asking for documentation for a long time. We'd asked Mr. Mansell and others and did not receive enough to have a clear picture until recently, thanks to internal and external operations assistants and those who continue to stand with us, and we finally have enough to proceed with a resolution." Now, even before we get to CoffeeZilla, this press release tossed a grenade right at Bricks and Minifig's own lawsuit. Just who were these outsiders who gave them operational assistance? And did they contradict whatever inventory and accounting that Best and Johnson had put forth? And why didn't they have this information a week prior when they filed a 95-page verified complaint? I have so many questions, and believe me, so do all the defense lawyers working for the Gormans, Ben Schneider, and Mansell. Now, additionally, the company offered to give Mansell all of the Lego sets that were located in the Salem store, regardless of whether it could be identified as part of his collection, and they also offered to drop their case. Now, despite all this, backtracking on the collection's value, dumping Johnson and Best for mismanagement, and confirming that some residual Lego inventory actually belonged to Mansell, Bricks and Minifigs did not drop the lawsuit or any of its claims. And then on June 10th, CoffeeZilla released a detailed investigation featuring an on-camera interview with the McNeffs and internal documents that changed the way that everyone thinks about this case. Now, as we've talked about in the past, under normal property law rules, consigned goods cannot be seized to satisfy the consignee's debts because the consignor still owns them. But there's an exception to that rule. Under Utah law, a secured party that takes possession in good faith without actual or constructive notice of a competing claim can cut off the junior interest. And that's what Bricks and Minifigs pleaded in its lawsuit, that it simply had no idea about the consignment, and the complaint says the same principle applies to the next set of franchisees, Johnson and Best. Their theory is that if they didn't have notice, they can't be liable for the consigned goods. But Mansell and Law have said all along that they have spreadsheets. And then CoffeeZilla comes along while interviewing Bricks and Minifigs CEO Eamon McNeff, who opened the file properties on the inventory spreadsheet.
It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September 6, 2024.
This is the first I've seen that this spreadsheet was created by Crystal. And we don't know how accurate it is, how up to date it was. We don't know a lot of those types of things. And understand, I appreciate you sharing this with us because we had no idea.
Now, the doctrine of constructive notice provides that the party has notice of a fact when, from all the facts and circumstances known to them at the time, they have reason to know it. And you don't have to actually have seen the document as long as you had a reasonable means of finding out. And this is, of course, separate from the actual notice that they may have had when lots of people were telling them that these Legos belong to somebody else, including Brandon Best, who was there the night of the takeover. But now we know that there was a spreadsheet created 2 months before the takeover tracking the consigned collection. And it appears that that spreadsheet is owned by Bricks and Minifigs Franchising and is hosted on the Bricks and Minifigs corporate email address. So it seems like that spreadsheet had been sitting on Bricks and Minifigs' own server infrastructure for years now, which would be very good evidence that the company had notice of the consignment and the inventory. But it gets worse.
Again, you don't know what you don't know, and you can't, we don't know everything, and we don't go, looking in every nook and cranny everywhere, we just don't know some of those things. So if that's there, we can now have our team go look for that.
Now, it is problematic for the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs to say that they haven't done a thorough investigation into Mansell's claims, since the McNeffs filed a verified complaint attesting that he looked into every nook and cranny. That's a real problem because Bricks and Minifigs filed a verified Tier 3 complaint in Utah State Court, which means the plaintiffs are seeking over $300,000 in damages. And a verified complaint is a legal document sworn to under oath by the plaintiff, affirming that the allegations are true. And courts often treat sworn factual allegations in a complaint as evidentiary admissions of the party who signed them. And the complaint here was verified by CEO Eamon McNeff and Salem franchisee Josh Johnson. They swore that they investigated the charges and that the allegations were true and correct to the best of their knowledge. So when the complaint says something factual, such as, quote, "We found less than $5,000 worth of Lego, we had no notice of the consignment, this was an organized extortion campaign," those are not just arguments from counsel, they are sworn positions of executives. Now, of course, a verified complaint is not conclusive proof that those facts are true. It's basically just like they were on the witness stand and are under oath. The allegations can be challenged through discovery and contradicted by other evidence or ultimately rejected by the court or the jury. However, by verifying the complaint, Eamon represented that he did a thorough investigation. And I don't know how thorough that investigation could have been if he never realized where the spreadsheet came from. And that lack of due diligence also came through in the company's June 4th press release. Quote, "This evidence confirmed that new incoming franchisees who took over the location were not aware of nor prepared for the responsibilities of taking over a store from a forensic accounting review standpoint." So Bricks and Minifigs has admitted that Best and Johnson, the named plaintiffs on the verified complaint, were not prepared for the responsibilities of running the store. And if that's the case, then why did the McNeffs rely on their accounting in their complaint? How much research did anyone do before filing this thing? And this is also important because the fact that this complaint was verified also probably helps Bricks and Minifigs get a temporary restraining order that restricted speech and putatively requires Reckless Ben to take down all of his videos. Now, nobody really knows exactly how many of Mansell's Legos were in the store when Bricks and Minifigs Corporate repossessed it. Before CoffeeZilla's video, we had two competing narratives. Brian Mansell said that about half of his collection was unaccounted for, but in its lawsuit, Bricks and Minifigs asserted that there was, quote, less than $5,000 worth of Star Wars Lego product could be located and identified in the entire residual Salem LLC on-site inventory. Now, CoffeeZilla hired a team to hand tag the Mansell collection from over 200 photos and multiple videos of the store on the night of November 14th, 2024.
In the end, I ended up with about $21,000 of Legos, matching Brian's collection, that can be proven to be in the store on the night of November 14th. Now, to state the obvious, that's about 3 to 5 times what corporate estimated, at least on their press release.
Now, a 3 to 5 times understatement in a verified pleading is not great. Under Utah Rule of Civil Procedure 11b3, factual contentions in a pleading must have evidentiary support. And the lawyer who signs the complaint is responsible for meeting this standard. And the party who verifies the complaint personally certifies the same. So to demonstrate how bad this is, let's watch Matt McNeff revise the number up in real time.
Do you think y'all have all of these?
Very likely.
Okay.
Again, I'd be surprised if we didn't.
But then I couldn't help myself. I started to bring up some of Crystal's photos to see if they matched up.
Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
So, do you see that?
Yep, the Vulture Droid.
75169.
169 I'm not seeing, so there may be... Okay, so there's one that is not on our list.
Let's try this. 10240?
Okay, nope, not seeing that one either. So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars, and that's all Star Wars inventory in the whole store.
But the number that Eamon McNeff swore to was $5,000, and Matt is now at $13,000 to $15,000 and climbing. The June 4th press release now admits that the original unsold collection was worth at least $100,000, and what's crazy is that none of these numbers match the sworn pleading. However, CoffeeZilla's investigation identified a significant inconsistency from Mansell's side as well.
But even though this is a bigger number than corporate said, I have to admit, even with pretty generous assumptions being made, there's still a huge gap of about $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions, who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy.
Mansell wasn't only consigning his collection to the store and waiting for it to sell. On the side, he was also privately selling pieces of it directly to a third party, M&R Productions. When CoffeeZilla compared M&R's photos to Crystal's inventory, he found that some of the Lego everyone assumed was missing from the store wasn't missing at all. Mansell had already sold it himself through his private deal, netting roughly $10,000 to $20,000. Though Mansell maintains that this side deal was a separate batch of Lego that was never consigned to the store. But CoffeeZilla checked and found that 100% of the side deal items that matched the collection were tagged storage on Crystal's consignment spreadsheet.
But I did a check, and 100% of the items that match the Brian collection inventory just so happened to be listed with a location of storage. So this starts to make things incredibly fuzzy, and I'm inclined to believe that a lot of these are part of that same inventory list. Now, if we take that value of the side deal, that's about $10,000 to $20,000 that's not actually missing.
In other words, the supposedly separate Lego looks like it was actually part of the consigned inventory. These revelations gave us a more complete, if complicated, picture of what happened. And assuming what CoffeeZilla presented is accurate, the Salem store had more of Mansell's collection than it admitted. But a chunk of what looks stolen or unaccounted for was sold off by the owner himself. Though it looks like the consigned inventory and Brian's own private sales overlapped and weren't reconciled, so no one can point to a single authoritative number for what should have been in that store on November 14th. So Bricks and Minifigs can use this evidence to bolster its narrative that the records they got from Crystal and Ben were unreliable and that they genuinely couldn't tell what was consigned versus sold versus moved, and that asking for verification before paying out was reasonable. But CoffeeZilla's work also undermines Bricks and Minifigs' theory that Brian, Ben, and Crystal concocted a crazy scheme to extort the company by grossly inflating the value of the collection. The off-book sales to M&R is an innocent, if messy, explanation for the discrepancy, not evidence of a heist, though we may never know exactly what happened to the missing Lego sets. However, CoffeeZilla investigated a theory about that.
Do they have the Legos?
What I can tell you is that we don't have it. We've never had access to them.
So now let's talk about what these admissions do to the lawsuit, because this video changes the whole ballgame. And by now you should expect nothing less from a CoffeeZilla investigation. Trust me, there's a reason why he ends up drinking at a bar at the end of every investigation, and it's not just because crime and fraud are rampant. But if you're gonna go to a bar, let me give you a pro tip. This is the pre-alcohol probiotic drink from Z-Biotics, and I'm absolutely thrilled that they sponsored me to tell you absolutely amazing to tack in the name. Because when you drink this byproduct that breaks this night, drink responsibly, which is illegal after drinking. Told Mansell that they didn't have his collection, weren't a party to his agreement, and that the company owed him nothing. Now, Bricks and Minifigs Corporate has suggested it had a right to take the Salem store's inventory to satisfy Crystal Law's alleged debt to the company, but the ex-employee is alleging that Brandon Best not only repossessed the inventory, but also transferred the inventory from Salem to Eugene.
I'm a former employee, started in 2024, and I was working under the old manager Brian. He sold the store to Brandon Best and Josh. Like, oh, Crystal stole Lego sets and bolted out of the country.
Who says that?
Brandon Best told us. When he was dropping off all the Lego sets to us that night. He used, like, it was a bunch of used Lego sets. That set were like saran wrap. They had Star Wars CD. They just a lot of stuff. It was like in a medium-sized U-Haul truck.
Wait, they brought a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, from Salem to Eugene.
Now, ultimately, that's a factual dispute that a jury would resolve, but the ex-employee is not a party to this case. She's a neutral fact witness with no apparent stake in the outcome of the suit, and a jury might believe her. And CoffeeZilla actually asked Bricks and Minifigs COO Matt McNeff about the U-Haul.
I believe I have seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
And Matt unequivocally says that there was no U-Haul on November 14th. He insisted the former employee of the Eugene store is conflating two different U-Hauls on two different dates, because Brandon took a U-Haul to the Eugene store back on October 24th. But the McNeffs did an absolutely fantastic job of torching their own credibility, even if this U-Haul turns out to be a collateral issue. Coffee then brightened a photo and found a U-Haul in the parking lot on the night of November 14th. When confronted with that, Matt changed his story. He said that the U-Haul wasn't being used to move Legos, it was being used to move a camper trailer. Under this version of events, Brandon Best had been planning to camp in Salem. The rental truck he originally got couldn't tow the trailer, so he rented a U-Haul instead, and that's why the U-Haul was in the parking lot. But CoffeeZilla was skeptical.
The timeline just doesn't fit, to be honest. If it took 4 hours to unload, you can't also drive to another city, load and unload, and drop off the U-Haul in that time.
The last thing you want is an important witness to destroy their credibility. And McNeff's own statements will damage his credibility. And under Utah Rule of Evidence 613, prior inconsistent statements of a witness are admissible for impeachment purposes. And it's also admission by a party, so there's no hearsay problem here. Matt is the COO of a named corporate plaintiff, and he said he viewed the footage of November 14th, said there was no U-Haul in the parking lot, but when confronted with the new evidence, he told a different story. Now, the video doesn't prove conclusively that Brandon Best took Ben's Lego collection to the Eugene store, but we now have photo documentation of a U-Haul, an ex-employee witness, and an inconsistent statement by Matt. So let's review where we are after the CoffeeZilla video. In the course of 7 days, Bricks and Minifigs filed a verified complaint swearing that less than $5,000 in the Mansell Lego collection could be located, that the company had no notice of the consignment, and that Brian, Ben, and Crystal conspired to extort $200,000 to $300,000. They issued a press release admitting that the collection was worth roughly $100,000, that $52,000 of it had been sold during the prior franchisee's tenure, that the franchisees who took over were operationally negligent, and that Bricks and Minifigs was no longer in business with those franchisees. But then they appeared on camera and substantially undercut all of those claims. Now, you can hire the best lawyers in the world, but you can't save a client from themselves. Now, all this highlights why it's so important to get a great lawyer when you're dealing with your own case. Now, after I started this channel, every week I'd get hundreds of comments and emails from viewers who are dealing with legal problems, and they'd ask, Can you help me find a lawyer? How do I know if this attorney is any good?
Early streaming today. Sorry, guys. We're gonna turn in. Thanks for stopping by.